And they are getting money out of people because they're scared. They think that they're going to be arrested or that they've conducted some criminal act that they're going to be held accountable for. And so they're paying people because the robocallers know how to put fear into people to get them to hand over their hard-earned money.
Nothing But a Number promises engaging content tailored just for you. Join us as we dive deep into discussions on topics that matter to our communities.
Welcome, everyone, to Nothing But a Number. My name is Hilary Williams Thomas. I am the Senior Associate State Director of Advocacy and Outreach with AARP Georgia. And here with me today, I am joined by someone I know well. I will let her give you her own title. She is with the FTC, and her name is Anna Burns. Welcome, Anna.
Thank you, Hilary. As Hilary said, my name is Anna Burns, and I am the Regional Director for the Southeast region of the Federal Trade Commission, which includes the state of Georgia.
Today we're talking about fraud and fraud prevention and the different areas of fraud and how that affects everyone's lives and consumers overall. You know, there are all different types of fraud. There are imposter scams, there's romance scams. We've got those, wonderful investment scams and the grandparent scams that we have talked about so many times in so many different arenas when we have spoken with each other. But one of the scams along, that kind of as a part of the imposter scams that I know the FTC has been working on are robocall scams. And I know we all detest the robocalls. We put our numbers on the do not disturb, do not call list, and we still get called. And the first thing that people always say is, what is the purpose? Why did I go through the whole do not call list if people are still going to call me? So I'll let you speak to that one before we go to the rest of robocalls.
Sure. The do not call list works to keep legitimate companies from calling you. So scammers are not going to pay attention to lists. They're not going to pay attention to
they're
rules.
Scammers.
And so they're scammers. So if you get a call and you're on the do not call list, you can be pretty sure that the person calling you is in fact a scammer because a legitimate business is going to play by the rules and they're not going to call you if you're on the do not call list.
Yeah, I would say, I think the most obvious thing about a scammer is that they are going to scam. So they're going to break the law. They are not going to pay attention to the do not call list. In fact, that list for them is like the please call list. Like this is the list of people that you want to call because they're the people that, want to protect themselves. So all of these different scammers are, wanting to get to those people. But so you've let us know that the do not call list does work because it's keeping people from being called, but only reputable businesses pay attention to that. So since we know that the reputable businesses are paying attention, who is calling us on these robocalls and what is the FTC or the government doing to try and help us?
People using robocalls to scam people, it really runs the gamut of industries. But the bottom line is that these robocallers are breaking the law and they're trying to get into your pocketbook and take money from you. So what the FTC is doing and has been doing is we're partnering with our other federal and state partners, including DOJ, the FCC, as well as the CFTC, and we're also partnering with all 50 state attorney generals to put a crackdown on robocalls. So, for example, last summer, all of those people I just mentioned brought Operation Stop Scam calls. So over 100 different federal and state and local law enforcement agencies brought more than 180 actions against robocallers. And these aren't just your scammers, because we know scammers aren't going to pay attention to the law. They're just going to keep scamming people. So what we did is we went after those who are helping scammers get into the ecosystem to enable them to robocall you. So who are those people? Lead generators. When you give your information out, think like you're doing a survey. You're like, oh, I'm going to win a free car. Oh, let me do this profile online. and you give out your information, that information is being sold. And that information is being sold by what we call lead generators. You're giving your information so those scammers can contact you, have your personal information, and try to get money out of your pocket. We're also going after voice over internet providers, who are the people who help facilitate those calls that are coming into you. And so just one FTC case brought last summer stopped more than 1 billion robocalls being made to U.S. consumers.
1 billion. That's a big number. So stop more than 1 billion calls from being made just with this one case with the FTC. That's a very big deal for people, because a lot of people are losing money to these robocallers. So how does that work? So you've got a robocall that comes in, someone reaches out to you, and you start exchanging information with them. How does that then lead to them getting your money? Because I think sometimes people think that, if you, only talk to them and give them playful information or whatever, that's not really doing anything. But how do the person on the other end, how do they get money?
Essentially, they're going to be looking for an angle, whether it's a personal angle for you, they're trying to scare you into giving them money. So a lot of times they're pretending to be somebody that they're not, or they're telling you something that will make you hand them money, like I work for a charity, when in fact they don't, or that money is just going into their pocket. So a lot of the things that we see people, imposter scams, people pretending to be somebody's grandchildren who are in trouble. We see people calling up pretending to be the government. In fact, people are pretending to be the Federal Trade Commission right now and calling people, telling them that they violated some law, and they are getting money out of people because they're scared. They think that they're going to be arrested, or that they conducted some criminal act that they're going to be held accountable for. And so they're paying people because the robocallers know how to put fear into people to get them to hand over their hard-earned money.
Well, thank you for your responses, Anna. One of the things that you touched on was something that we hear about frequently, which is, I hate calling it a nonprofit scam, because these people are not legitimate nonprofits. But, it's when you go back and you look and see the percentage of money that they actually give to their cause is a very small amount. And I know we had a session a couple weeks ago, and I shared that when I was a stay-at-home mom, I was lonely. I didn't have anybody to talk to, and I would get a call from the United Federation of the Firefighters in left Indiana who, currently suffering burns. And you're like, oh my goodness, this is so sad. This is such a horrible thing to have happen. I'm going to have to try and figure out if I can send you all some money. And you go and you look these people up, and they're giving 1% of the money that they're getting in. And that's what they're giving to this group. And the rest of it is all being eaten up by administration costs and salaries and all these different things, versus giving a large percentage of the money to the group that's affected. So how's the FTC involved in some of those types of cases?
Just like any other scammer, what they're doing is they're playing at your heartstrings. Like you said, Hilary, they make these stories and they sound awful, and you want to give them money. You want to give them the ability to help people. But really, the only people they're helping are themselves. So one of the things to do, and this is true with all calls, is instead of giving money over the phone, hang up. If it's a real company, you can reach out to them, or a real charity, you can reach out to them in another way to donate. You can take time. If they're a real charity, they're not going to be pressuring you to give over the phone. They're going to understand that you need time to consider what you can donate. And one of the things that we tell people is at the beginning of the year, plan out how much you're going to donate and who you're going to donate to, so that you're not caught in these situations where people are trying to force money out of you. And do your homework. Like you said, look them up online, see how much money that they're giving out to people, and you can ask them to send you paperwork to show how much money is going to the people they claim that they're helping and how much money is going to them.
So if you're asking people to send you this paperwork or looking them up online, is there a specific site that we should go to or send people to so that they do look up these different organizations?
Sure. One is Charity Navigator. You can go there and see what money is being given out to people, but there are several. And the real question is, how much money do you think should be going to their pockets versus how much money should be going to help people? And if that answer that you see online doesn't satisfy you, you shouldn't be giving them money.
Very true. That is very, very true. So, we talked a little bit about these robo scams. We talked about, the charity scams. What else are you all hearing about?
Have you talked about imposter scams yet?
We've talked a little bit about imposter scams, but we always have a different spin on it depending on who the person is.
Let's talk about imposter scams a little more because they are on the rise. And one of the things that we're seeing is how artificial intelligence is helping scammers impersonate individuals or companies, and they're earning your trust through that artificial intelligence mechanism. And so they're able to get more money out of people. And one of the ways they're doing that is that if you're putting your voice on social media, or you're making videos and posting them online, or if you answer the phone and they're recording snippets of your voice or your loved one's voice, they're then turning around and using that so that you sound like you're making another call and agreeing to purchase something, or they're taking your grandchild's voice and calling you and telling you, hey, I'm in jail, I'm in trouble, I need money. And it sounds exactly like your grandchild. So you can't tell the difference between what is real and what is artificial intelligence. So it's still the same bottom line. Hang up, call your grandchild, call your family members, call a trusted loved one, and see if the scams or the situation seems legitimate.
Exactly. And, one of the things we keep telling people is to be leery of these gift card payments. So if somebody is telling you to send a gift card so you can help your grandchild get out of jail, definitely be very leery of that and understand that, that's probably not the way that that's going to be done. But just, you're right. Take a step back, think about it, and, make those considerations before you make any payment. And Anna, we appreciate you being here with us today. But just as a final wrap up, What is something that you want people to know about fraud prevention?
I want people to educate themselves. So go to ftc.gov. We have great consumer tips that you can read about how to spot and avoid scams, and also how to report it at reportfraud.ftc.gov.
Oh, perfect. Thank you again, Anna. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you. I apologize for the background noise. I just finished another outreach event and I am in a public place, but I'm happy to be here with you today.
It is okay. We understand. We appreciate you just taking the small amount of your time out today to talk to us on this very, very important topic. So we appreciate you being here, even though you're not in the ideal area, and we just appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, for joining in to Nothing But a Number. My name is Hilary Williams Thomas, the Senior Associate State Director of Advocacy and Outreach with AARP Georgia, and we've been talking with Anna Burns at the Federal Trade Commission. And Anna, we thank you, and have a good day, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
And that's a wrap on today's episode of Nothing But a Number. Thank you so much for joining us and diving into the conversations that shape our communities. We hope you found today's discussion enlightening and inspiring. Remember, new episodes drop every Wednesday at 12 noon on YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts. To stay up to date with all our latest episodes and to continue exploring the topics that matter most to you, be sure to subscribe and follow Nothing But a Number on your preferred podcast platform. Your engagement and support means the world to us. If you enjoyed today's episode, Please consider sharing it with friends and family who might also find value in our content. Until next time, stay informed, stay connected, and we'll meet you right here next Wednesday. Take care.